And we are live. Hello everyone, right here on the series of interviews for our stories of immigrants. And I'm so happy because now I'm getting people asking me, hey man, what's going on? Can I participate? It's almost now everybody that have been on the interviews. So happy to be here. Welcome. If you're good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are doing or going to, because you may be in Europe, you may be in South America, you may be in Houston, Texas. We welcome you for this amazing story, and I'm so happy to be able. I wish I was wearing my tongue tat, you know, my muscle shirt right here.
He's bigger than me.
So
much bigger than me.
Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday here in Houston. It's about 3 p.m. We're taking a bit of a break from work. This guy is telling me, hey, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done now because I'm leaving tomorrow out of the city. So just to do justice for our purpose, to tell a beautiful story and to keep it as short, convenient for you. I'm here with Arnaldo. He's not only a friend now, but he's also a member over here at Wi+Cowork. And why don't you tell our audience right here in this camera that is on the right side, a little bit about yourself and a little bit of a background on yourself.
Hi, well, my name's Arnaldo. I was born here in Houston. My family's from El Salvador. They immigrated here in the 80s. Whatever there was the guerrilla war going on in El Salvador, so they came here through a couple amnesty laws that were granted at that time. Granted, those laws were rejected. I think last year they were taken away from. So if you came on that, then you have to like redo everything, and it's been a big problem.
Last year,
yeah, last year.
Not this year, but last year.
Last year they did that. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I live in Houston. I live downtown. Our firm is here at Wi+Cowork. We were the second. We're the first or second. We're the second members here at Wi+Cowork, and we've been here along this guy ever since we started. They've been so good to us. And if you haven't been to Wi+Cowork, y'all gotta come. Just check it out. Just because it's just a cool place. Number one, there's nothing but cool people downstairs. There's people that are doing stuff, big things downstairs. So if you are motivated, you're an entrepreneur, if you just want to come out and hang out and have a little bit of wine on Fridays.
I promise him a discount for the
for the plug.
For the plug right here. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about the background of how your family ended up here? Just I'm curious about how you are an immigrant even though were born and raised here.
Yeah, well, I'm first generation. I'm as Hispanic as they come. My family's from a very indigenous part of El Salvador. My dad was from El Salvador. My mom's from El Salvador. My mom immigrated here after her brother did. So she was the second person to come here. It was 13 of them.
13.
Yeah, 13.
Back in the day, Latin families.
Yeah,
lots of cooking.
There's a lot of everything. But no, yeah. So she ended up coming here, like I said, fleeing the war in El Salvador, which is a very tragic thing that happened. We're not going to get into all that, but
but I'm just curious to see.
But definitely, that's how they came here. My mom came with nothing. She had
how many years ago, probably?
She came in the 80s, so she came in 1984.
1984. Okay.
My brother was born in 87. I was born in 89. So yeah, she came like 84. She came with nothing, not a dollar, not a job, nothing. Just herself. She left her son, my oldest brother. She left Willie in El Salvador so she could then bring him here, which ended up is what happened. So that's how my mom got here. My stepdad, he was my stepdad actually he raised me. He's been around since my stepdad was actually in the army in El Salvador, and absolutely something that he did not agree with. Actually, he didn't sign up for that. He just ended up being
correct.
Yeah, so he ended up fleeing also. So
interesting.
It's a very deep story. It's a very heartfelt story. A lot of people think that people just get up and leave their countries and stuff. That's not the way it works. But there's stuff that happens, and when, especially in this instance, when a country like as big as the United States is coming into a country like El Salvador and disturbing the economy, disturbing the movement that's happened there for the greater good of the people, then I feel like the United States has they have a responsibility to either bring people in from the war-stricken country that they're actually, I'm not gonna say they're doing, but they're actually aiding. So I think they have a responsibility to do that, and they have a responsibility to go back and actually construct those economies
So
again.
at some point, you grew up with this story. You understand why your parents ended up over here, and then how you ended up contributing to a new country, to a new economy. Now, how was being in school?
Being in school was. I was, I was just a Hispanic kid, at school. I went to Jersey Village High School here in Jersey Village, and then I ended up going to U of H, and then after that, I became a consultant, and then I started Blue Oxford.
So that's interesting. Now, obviously, a lot of people are asking me, I love to be, but I wasn't born elsewhere. I was born here, for instance. But a lot of times we ended up dating or marrying or working with somebody who is from another country, or temporarily or in a permanent basis. From what perspective do you think being from a foreign family has broadened your opportunities?
Oh God, I think I was watching a movie the other day with my brother. It was I forget what it was called. It was about these aliens that came, and they spoke in a different language, and their language wasn't linear. And I feel like one of the things that Hispanic people or people that speak two languages is that their minds actually work a little bit different.
Correct.
We speak linearly in English, but we also speak linearly in Spanish. So when we try to express ourselves, I think that we have more tools to express ourselves in different ways,
True.
in better ways. Say like Spanish is the language of love or passion, and I think that's absolutely true. I also think that like English is more of an objective language, so
or more of business.
Yeah, more objective. It's more objective.
Direct business.
So if you can speak both, I think that it actually broadens the way you actually view the world, the way you want to express yourself. They say people that curse, express themselves the best. So I think that if you have more tools, absolutely.
So thumbs up for that. I don't know if it's Rodolfo or Alma.
Absolutely, and not only that is I think that coming from I never felt poor growing up. That's one thing I'll give my mom. That my mom, we never had much. Now looking back, but when I was growing up, God, I didn't feel like we were poor. I felt like we were just like everybody else. My mom, she raised 4 kids on 40 grand. Like that's ridiculous. I'm trying to raise 1 kid, and believe me, I've surpassed the 40 grand, but like I feel like I'm struggling, what I mean? So like when I look back and I see what my mom did, Jesus Christ, bless her heart, because it's super hard. True. It's super hard for me right now. So knowing where I came from, knowing that I have opportunities here, and then taking advantage of those opportunities, I think that all that was part of just my upbringing.
True. Now, I'm placing myself, in your body, trying to think, how it was for you to go to school and everything, and then you decided to take life on your own terms and just become, your own entity, your own company. Why don't you tell our audience who are listening in English a little bit of what you do and why you ended up creating your own company?
Man, it's funny that you said, I actually, one of the biggest reasons and one of the biggest influencers for me starting Blue Oxford was obviously my kid. I ended up having a baby, and that was a big deal to me. And one thing that I started realizing was that like the ability to make money is endless here in this country. It really is. If you're not making money, or if you're not reaching your goals, I think that there's mental blocks that are happening in your life or within your structure. And if that's happening, then you need to move. You need to remove yourself from that structure, put yourself in a different structure to give yourself those opportunities. Okay. With that being said, you ended up. I ended up doing Blue Oxford not for financial gain. Obviously, I think that like financial success or just money in general is a byproduct of success, of being happy. And if you can walk in that route, I think that the byproducts are going to be happiness and money and success and all these other things. So whenever I started Blue Oxford, I think the biggest goal that we had was to have as much time as I needed with flexibility to be around my kid. Okay. That was the big thing. My kid lived in Weatherford at the time, so it was a big deal to try to make money somehow. We started really small. We started just scrapping. We were just doing some consulting for a couple of companies here and there, and then it just kept growing and growing and keep feeding that machine. It'll grow. Now,
so you mentioned something important. You saw the value was to have flexible time.
Yes.
Because I can relate to you that sometimes you think that you're owning your own business and you change your job from 40 hours to 80 to 90 hours a week.
Yeah, you just never stop working is really the thing. And the weird thing is about like when you start your business or you find something that you're passionate in or that you want to get better at, is that whenever you take on those terms as this is not a job, this is a way of life, then all of a sudden I feel like I live better. I live more. I walk around, I see a billboard.
Yeah, because you don't feel like you're forced. You know,
oh no, I don't.
Everybody sounds to think you don't feel like you're forced to do things. You actually are driven towards, get things done or progress or get that sale or get that client, that customer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not only the business aspect of it, but like I enjoy just driving around, looking at a billboard, going down, seeing the art down the
Sandra
side.
right here, giving us love right here.
Sandra. No, so like I think that's one of those biggest things. I remember I used to go to work and I used to shut it off, like my creativity, shut it off. My ability to want to look at magazines or to look at that website, see how it's designed and everything. Like I never wanted to do those things after work, but now I just do them all the time. It's part of my life. Like I feel like I wake up and I'm like, yeah, that's designed really well. Let me see it, or let me take a picture of it. The other day I was at White Oak Music Hall. And if you go in the bathroom, you see all the art that they did in the bathroom. Like, dude, I sit in the bathroom for like 3-4 minutes taking pictures. People probably thought I was crazy, but I was like, this is some really cool stuff, you know. I think that me 6 years ago, I would have been too busy trying to get back out. Trying to get back in. My life has slowed down so much, and
slowed down because you decide not to break it in chunks. You just make it all blend.
It's all one thing now. It's all.
So by the way, his company, Blue Ox for Marketing. Tell us really quickly, because we're gonna switch to a message to the audience, and we're gonna go back to Spanish. Welcome, Maria Elise. Welcome, Clara. Welcome. I saw some faces are going up and down, so I didn't catch everybody. Tell quickly what is your company doing? And you can be a press about it.
I got Juan a little shirt here, and if y'all, I know a lot of people were asking me about these shirts. If y'all want a shirt, we're gonna have a new order.
This is the logo, so you can see it, Blue Oxford. This is the logo. You leave it right there for a second. This is mine now.
We got new shirts coming in probably next month, and I think I got a couple larges, a couple mediums left, and if y'all want some of those, just shoot me.
So what does the company do?
Blue Oxford. So Blue Oxford, we specialize in doing turnkey trade show exhibits for any. We do them a lot for the oil field. We do them a lot for the aviation industry, recycling. But we've done booths for fitness and creams and a lot of different just industries in general. Yeah. So if there's a conference or anything like that, or you work for somebody that has a booth and it needs to be remodeled and you need a new one or you need new ideas, we do everything from beginning to end. Not only do we that, we're just a full-fledged marketing
So if
firm.
you have a company and are planning to go to any of the expos that happen, nationwide or international, Rolly's saying Wi+Cowork and Wi+Cowork and
but yeah, so we do the banner stands, we do the 10x10 booths, 10x20 booths, 2x2.
So these guys will have you set up for that.
And it's turnkey. You just show up with your little suit and you just
get ready to rock and roll. Excellent.
But not only do we that, we do all the design work we do websites. So it's grown. We used to just do that, but then we've been branding people from beginning to end, from the beginning all the way to their booth, because people have.
We're getting some members with Davis joining us right now. He's probably downstairs. I don't know if he's here in the office or not. But all these best people on Wi+Cowork. Thank you, Raul, for the comments. Now the website link, it's right here on the description. Why don't you leave the audience today? Normally I ask you a specific question, normally it's about immigration, normally it's about business. You mentioned you're a father, you're going on a trip, you're going to disconnect and reconnect. So what message would you like to send today to the audience?
Man, if I a lot of people they look at me and they think that just like you said, like you work for yourself and this and that. Everything comes with a cost, and nothing that's worth doing or worth accomplishing is easy. This is a lot of work, and there's no way around the work. This one thing that I had to learn the hard way is that I've always been this guy that's been able to just kind of half-ass things in a way. I used to be able to just not study but get good grades. I was always the guy that didn't have to practice, but I would still play in the games. I was always this guy that just never really had to put all the effort in to get the result. And when I started learning is that the older I get and the less mediocre I want things to look like, there's no way around the work. So if I were to tell anybody hey, just make sure that you incorporate the work into your life. It's part of it. You can't take a shortcut. You can't. You're not gonna have somebody that's just gonna just give you something or whatever. Like, you need to put yourself in the right situations. If you need to go to school and get educated, go do that. If you need to be networking, go do that. If you need to be studying art or you need to be practicing guitar because you're a musician, do those things. The other thing you need to do is handle yourself like a business. And I don't care who you are, what you do. Well, I see a lot of artists out there. Carry a business card. Make sure that people can find you. This is one of the biggest things.
I'm glad. This is for another topic for another YouTube channel, but
this is my rant. I rant that with everybody.
No, but it's so true that we're walking a little bit towards another next show. I want to get him another show now. Is how do you start thinking like a company, not like a just individual? Especially real estate professionals, realtors, and artists, and a lot of my friends are they do transactions, but they don't really take the process as a company. So and it's a process. It doesn't come overnight either. So.
No. There's no overnight success.
Cool, man. So I appreciate this is our continuation of this series of successful, either immigrants or
I don't know about all that.
You were born here, and the word success means somebody who's achieving right now happiness. That's my. No. Like you're doing it right now. Every process that you go through, it's a process. It's a successful experience. Everybody that you join right now, everybody that is going to be watching it later on because you're at work, thank you so much. If you think this is of any value to you, please leave us a comment right here. Share it with your friends, family, and everybody, and we appreciate the appreciation. Guys, have a great afternoon.